The night. There was a monster under my bed. Part 2 and final part. What just happened? I tilt my neck slowly to see what happened to my cover and sheets, and they are on the ground beside the bed, getting pulled under in short, jerking motions. Something is pulling my sheets under my bed. For reasons I still don't understand, I get possessive over my sheets. This is bullshit. Who or whatever is under my bed didn't ask me permission to be there, nor did they have the forethought to prepare for a cold night. I'm not going to give them my covers, sheets, or duvet. I reach down and have a quick tug of war with the thing under my bed. It was a quick match. As soon as I started fighting over my sheets, the thing gave up quickly with their sheet-snatching ideas. I piled up the bedding on the mattress, making sure that no part of it was dangling off the edge. Reality is starting to set in. It's just after midnight, and I just had my sheets get pulled off my bed and start to get pulled under the bed. This is probably bad. I used to play The Floor is Lava as a child, and that's a very good thing, because that wasn't just a game anymore. That was training. Survival training for this moment. I didn't want to jump off of the bed, because my landing would wake the house. Specifically my parents in the bedroom below me, and they get cranky when woken up in the middle of the night. I keep my eyes on the floor beside the bed while I stand on the chair next to it, then Spider-Man onto the armoire, making way to the dresser. The dresser was the last platform I needed to get to before my door. I'm now across the room from the bed. The floor over here is probably not lava. I'm probably safe now. I step onto the floor, open the door, and go into the hallway. I'm pretty sure that whatever just happened in there constitutes an unsafe sleeping environment if ever brought up to an HR department. No one will blame me for bailing on the room tonight. In the morning, I can certainly get some backup and overpower whatever is under my bed. I decide that I'm going to crash on the couch for the rest of the night. I grab some blankets and a spare pillow from the linen closet outside my bedroom. I'm not going back in there for my normal pillow. Some sacrifices need to be made. I set up on the living room couch and attempt to process what just happened. I can't sleep. I'm totally wired. What just happened? I know I'm not sleeping. This isn't some joke. I didn't kick my sheets off. They got ripped off. They were jerking under the bed. No one was shoveling, and no one is going to believe me. In a few hours, the family is going to wake up. They're going to see me here on the couch. They're going to ask me why. I'm going to tell them, and they aren't going to believe me. Who would believe me? No one. I certainly wouldn't. I'm going to get ridiculed. My family is going to think I'm on drugs. This is a problem. There could be repercussions for this, but I'd rather not be ridiculed. I'd rather just go fight this thing under the bed. It will be believable if I'm all battered in the morning from some intense fight with a bedroom monster, but just as a story, no one will believe. Gotta go earn some scars. I put the blankets and spare pillow back in the linen closet, open my bedroom door, and walk over to the bed. I stand next to it, looking straight down, fully expecting the thing to reach out and attack my undefended feet. Nothing happens. I crawl into bed. No sounds. I get under the covers, still making sure that nothing is hanging over the edge of the mattress. Nothing. A few hours later, my family starts to wake up. That's when I hear my mom scream in the kitchen. So here's what happened. My mother was a science teacher for grades 7 to 8. She had animals in the science class for the kids to interact with and study. Geckos, little turtles, things like that. She had brought them all home for the holiday season because the school was going to be closed for weeks, and one of those animals had broken out of its cage in the kitchen. She had a pair of chinchillas that were a class favorite. Her students used to rush to her class to feed them, and these chinchillas had grown to the size of a small house cat. They were massive from the overfeeding and also very fat. One of them had broken out of its cage and somehow made its way into my room. The scraping sounds were it tearing up a cardboard box under my bed to make bedding for the night. The sound stopped when I moved, because the bed springs would bounce, causing the chinchilla to freeze in fear as the world above it shifted. Eventually it tried to climb up my sheets for reasons that only make sense to it, and since it was so fat, it pulled down the bedding to the floor. It had gotten tangled up in the sheets and was making a break for under the bed, which is why the sheets were getting pulled under. After that terrifying incident, it hid in a pair of shoes under the bed, hiding from the monster above the bed. Me. After talking to my mom in the morning about the terror night I had, and finding out about the chinchilla jailbreak, she was screaming because the chinchilla had scattered wood chips from its cage everywhere in the kitchen. We put everything together. I retrieved the runaway rodent once I found him in my shoe. That was the night there was a monster under my bed. Crazy night. Like and follow.